He left you. Maybe he ghosted. Maybe he walked away without explanation. Maybe he made you feel like you meant nothing. And just when you're picking up the pieces trying to move on, he comes back. He acts like nothing happened. Suddenly, he's texting, watching your stories, finding ways to slip back into your life. And for a moment, your heart stops. You wonder, did he change? Did he finally realize what he lost? Does he actually love me after all? Here's what most women don't understand. When a man comes back after hurting you, it's rarely because of love. It's because of power, ego, and fear of loss. Today, I'm breaking down the real reasons men come back, so you never fall for this trap again. The real reason he left in the first place. Before we talk about why he's coming back, you need to understand why he left. Men don't always leave because they're unhappy. They leave because they assume you'll always be an option. They're chasing something they think is better. They believe they can come back whenever they want. Most men don't consider the emotional consequences of walking away. They think they can explore, date around, live their life, and if nothing better comes along, they can slide back into your life like nothing happened. And the worst part? They assume you'll let them. Why men come back after hurting you? Men return not because they've changed, but because of one powerful psychological trigger. Loss aversion. The psychology of loss aversion. People fear losing something more than they enjoy gaining something new. A man who left you didn't fear losing you at the time. He assumed you'd still be there. But once you stop chasing, once you go silent, once he sees you thriving without him, that's when he panics. He doesn't want to lose his access to you. He doesn't want another man to have what he once had. He doesn't want to feel replaced. So he comes back. Not because he suddenly values you, but because his ego is triggered by the idea that you're moving on. The three biggest reasons men come back after hurting you. Reason number one, he wants to see if he still has power over you. A man who walks away doesn't always intend to stay gone forever. He might have left for another woman, for temporary excitement, or simply because he thought he could do better. But when that thrill wears off, he starts wondering if you're still an option. This isn't about love, it's about control. Signs he's testing his power over you. He texts casually, as if nothing happened. He brings up inside jokes or shared memories to pull you back emotionally. He acts friendly, but avoids discussing what he did. A man who truly regrets hurting you will acknowledge his mistakes. A man who just wants to test his power will act like nothing happened. What to do? Do not engage in his small talk. If he doesn't apologize, don't entertain his presence. Keep your response short, or better yet, don't respond at all. If he's coming back only to check if he can still control you, make it clear. That door is closed. Reason number two, his other options didn't work out. Let's be brutally honest. Many men leave thinking they can do better. They get distracted by someone new, someone exciting, someone who, in their mind, offers something different than you did. But here's what happens. That new person isn't always what they expected. Maybe she doesn't treat him the way you did. Maybe she doesn't put up with his nonsense. Maybe the relationship wasn't as fulfilling as he thought it would be. And suddenly, he starts missing what he had. Not because he loves you, not because he's changed, but because his other options failed, and now you seem like a safe place to land. What to do? If he left for someone else and is now coming back, he sees you as a backup plan. Do not allow yourself to be his safety net. A man who truly values you doesn't leave in the first place. If he only comes back after his new relationship falls apart, ask yourself, do you really want to be someone's second choice? Reason number three, he sees you moving on, and he can't stand it. The biggest ego hit a man can take? Seeing you happy without him. The moment he sees you, living your best life, not chasing him, potentially dating someone better, that's when his panic mode kicks in. This isn't love. This isn't regret. This is pure ego. He doesn't actually want to be with you. He just doesn't want to feel replaced. What to do? Recognize that his return is about him, not you. Stay silent. Let him wonder what's going on in your life. Focus on yourself, not his sudden interest. Men commit when they fear losing a high-value woman forever. If you stay in control of your emotions, he will realize he lost something truly irreplaceable. The biggest mistake women make when men return. A man who hurt you and then returns is testing the waters. He's checking to see if he still has a place in your life. And the number one mistake women make? Welcoming him back too easily. Most women do this without realizing it. They respond quickly to his texts. They let him slide back into their life without an apology. They reopen the door he walked out of without making him earn it. Here's what you need to understand. The easier you let him back in, the less he respects you. If there are no consequences for hurting you, he won't take you seriously. If he knows he can leave and return whenever he wants, he will keep doing it. A man should never feel safer coming back than staying in the first place. If he left you, he should be afraid of losing you forever. How to respond when he comes back the right way. If you want to make a man regret losing you, your response must be calculated, powerful, and firm. Step 1. Do not respond right away. The moment he texts, your biggest advantage is silence. If you respond too quickly, he assumes you've been waiting for him. If you go silent, he starts questioning himself. If he's forced to wait, he realizes he no longer has access to you. Silence isn't a game, it's a message. It says, "I'm not the same woman you walked away from." Step 2. Set a standard, not an invitation. If he reaches out, don't jump back into conversation like nothing happened. Instead, keep your response short, calm, and detached. Wrong response. "I've missed you. I was wondering when you'd come back." Translation: he can leave and return whenever he wants. Right response: "What do you need? Interesting to hear from you after all this time. Did you forget something?" This puts him on defense instead of giving him control. Step 3. Make him work for access to you. A man who left should never feel like he can just walk back in. If he genuinely regrets leaving, he will prove it through actions, not words. If he's just looking for validation, he will disappear when he sees you're not easy to get. What to do? Do not agree to meet up immediately. Do not let him back into your life just because he says, "I miss you." Do not entertain conversations that go nowhere. Instead, say, "I've moved forward in my life. If you're serious about talking, show me real change." This forces him to either step up or step out. Final takeaway: make him regret losing you. The most powerful thing you can do when a man comes back? Show him you don't need him anymore. A man regrets losing a woman when she's unbothered. She doesn't make it easy for him to return. She radiates confidence and self-respect. Final truth: if he truly values you, he will fight to earn his place back. But if he's only returning to feed his ego, let him feel the loss. What do you think? Drop a comment below. Have you ever had a man come back after hurting you? Let's talk. And if you're ready to start attracting high-value men who never leave, hit that like button and subscribe for more.